Good morning, class 7. Today, your fourth chapter, greenhouse effect and global warming. As I mentioned in the syllabus, as much as I will do, you will do that much only for this chapter. So let's see how much we can do today, so that you can do from that much only for your unit test. So what is greenhouse effect? In the last chapter, you have seen what is greenhouse effect. It is the effect that takes place when the sun rays hit the earth. Now what happens when the sun rays hit the earth? The heat is being absorbed by the earth and afterwards that is radiated back. That means it gives out, the earth gives out the heat radiated back to the atmosphere. Now here the work of the atmosphere comes up. How? When this radiant is coming out, if this is the earth, it is giving out the heat out, then it goes up. As the wind becomes hotter, it goes up, and as it goes up, as we have seen that the earth is been covered with a blanket, so it strikes there and it again comes back. That means it does not goes out of the atmosphere to the other layers like stratosphere, mesosphere. There it is hold inside the blanket of the atmosphere. Now why and how is this helpful? Trapped inside the atmosphere makes our earth comfortable for us to live, because if this goes out, heat goes out, then the earth would have been cooler and we couldn't have been able to live at night. So that is how it helps us at night. And what are these gases that is trapped? It is carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, water vapor, and chlorofluorocarbon, CFCs, while the rest escapes into the space, but some they go out of the space. These gases, what they do? They prevent the heat radiated by the earth from escaping like the glass walls of greenhouse. Now these gases, all these gases, they help to absorb the heat that is been coming out from the earth, and whatever is left out, that go out in the space. Now how does it work? It works like a glass house. If you have seen a greenhouse, it is made of glass. In that the plants are being grown. So, and that's why these gases are known as greenhouse gas or GHGs. It is like a mirror and it reflects. As it goes up, it touches and it comes back to the earth. And so the heat energy is trapped in this way. The more the greenhouse gas is present in the atmosphere, the more heat is trapped, making the earth warm. Now what are the causes for the increase of greenhouse gas? Increasing industry. First I will make you explain from this. Deforestation means cutting out of trees, because the trees, forests. The forests are the places where this carbon dioxide is used and oxygen is given to us to make the earth cooler. So as the forests have been cut out or somewhere it is burned out, which is a natural disaster, or somehow it is happening. So as the plants and the big trees are becoming lesser, carbon dioxide is not much been absorbed. So the absorption of carbon dioxide also reduces, which makes the atmosphere heated. Because if the carbon dioxide was absorbed, then oxygen had been come out from the trees, then it would have cooled the temperature. Like I can tell you, when there was lockdown last year during this part of the season, last year, as the vehicles were not out, people were not out, factories were not working, so the atmosphere had been changing a lot. There were the temperature was getting cool, because the other option, that smoke, dust, this option is not this one, this one, chimneys, factories, they gives out different types of gases which are absorbed by the which are present in the atmosphere, not absorbed, present in the atmosphere. Now in those gases, carbon dioxide also comes out. So if there were sufficient trees, then this carbon dioxide might have been used by them and we would have got cool temperature. Same way, last year as there were no vehicles, no factories, so chimneys were not working, so no dust, no carbon dioxide, less gases were coming out from the vehicles, so the atmosphere was cool because the trees and all those, they as much carbon dioxide was present in the atmosphere, they utilized it and made the atmosphere cool. Next thing, increasing industry. How increasing industry is harmful? Now these industries, they do not follow some rules. The rules of making these chimneys, the chimneys should be made at a certain height, which will not provide atmospheric pollution. So that is not followed, and as the number of industries increases, the heat is also increasing. Natural disasters like floods, volcanic eruption, earthquakes, due to this, the upper layer of the soil is being washed away. But rather than that, volcanic eruption, earthquakes, what does it happen? Smoke, stirs, these are coming out, which heat up the atmosphere. Then the increasing methane. Where does this methane comes from? It's come from the cattle rearing areas. Large scale cattle rearing areas, they gives out large amount of methane, which is harmful. Then the expansion of cities and towns. Now for cities and towns, for the expanding of cities and towns, what do we have to do? We have to cut down this forest. And after cutting out this forest, the trees are getting less. And in these towns and cities, what is the next thing that is not being good for us? That is, in every house nowadays, people uses freeze, AC, and all these things. From these particles also radiation occurs, which heat up the atmosphere. So this is also one reason why the atmosphere is getting heated up due to the expansion of cities and towns. I think you have understood. Okay.